Welcome to this session. In the earlier session, we had seen various search strategies that we had done against the databases stored in the library and the electronic retrieval of data either online or offline stored in the library databases. So, this is in continuation with the earlier session. In this session, let us focus on the other aspects of the search strategy. We will start with the mismatch between information need and search results. And the problems for the mismatch between the information need and the search results were compiled and given in one of the research papers in 1980 and 81. Let us discuss some of the issues over here. This was given by Fenichel, a study done in 1980 and 81. So, I want some information and the results that I got from the searcher were completely different. So, I am not at all satisfied with the search and I have not got the relevant information that I require. So, what went wrong? Let us see. So, these are the problems I had listed over here. Approaches to searching vary from user to user. So, I may be the user and I had given some request to the DSA people, the searcher, and he had understood in a different way. He searched the database against the misunderstood information and he got the result. So, approaches from one search by one user is different to that of the other user. Major problems are with the search strategy and not with the mechanics of the retrieval system. So, the databases are there, the search engine is there, then whole mechanics are working properly. However, the strategy that we used is completely different. We should not find fault with the databases and the search engines. Most of the users do not make full use of online interactive facilities. Suppose if the first time I had given a string, I had got some results. Once again, if I am not satisfied with the results, I have to refine the string or I have to once again reset the search strategy and I have to put the string. Some people, what they will do is, they will get the results for the first time. If they are not satisfied, they do not refine and they leave just like that. So, this may be one of the reason for getting the bad results. And then lack of skills, charging policy, search environment and nature of questions that we put, administrative issues. There are several things wherein which these may affect for not getting the results properly. Then we see the major causes for the deviation. These particular causes were listed after a research study in 1990 by Ginchart and Menu. They had presented a paper in 1990 wherein which they had completely listed down the causes. One cause may be information need as perceived by end user. So, here I want some information, but I am unable to judge how to get it. What are the keywords or what are the guided vocabulary, controlled vocabulary that I have to put, what kind of indices that I have to use as aids or tools. So, what kind of databases I have to search, I do not have any idea. And I am unable to understand even the problem also, what needs to be searched and to what extent. This may be one of the cause. I do not have a clear picture or clear idea in order to search. Another thing is, I had passed this information to the next person, like the searcher. Information need as expressed in end user's query, like I had passed on this particular information to the next user, like the people who are searching for me. Information need as interpreted by information specialist. What he has done is, he understood in a different format and he understood the requirements in a different style and he started searching the way he interpreted from the user. There may be a mistake with the query formulation also, wherein which proper syntax may not be given, proper use of keywords or proper use of operators, boolean operators, others may not be used properly, and I haven't got the results properly. Even the formulation of such expression and strategies may be wrong, and these will also form a cause for the deviation. So, the information what I intended to hasn't got, and bad results were shown. And the other cause may be search and retrieval operations. The way I had searched, the way I had retrieved the information, the way the whole operation has taken place may be one of the cause. Intermediate results may be another cause. I had got the intermediate results, even then user hasn't given the proper feedback, depending upon which the final results were being published. So, these are some of the causes for the bad results. So, what should be the major approaches in searching? There are several techniques proposed by several people, but one of the techniques compiled and given by Markey and Atherton in 1981 and Harter in 86 and Hartley in 90 were prominent among the approaches. One approach is brief search, the other approach is block building method, successive fractions method, citation pearl growing method, starting a search with discriminating facet first, and then starting the search with the lowest posted or the most specific term as measured against the file, a combination of two or more of the above methods which is useful in actual practice of searching. So, these are the approaches that they have suggested. Let us see one by one. First one is the brief search. Brief search is nothing but we had given one random word. It is a quick and relatively less expensive way of getting rough idea about what a database holds about a subject. I want some information on some like subject. I don't know which keyword I have to put. However, randomly I had put some keyword or controlled vocabulary, and against which I got some other additional terms. So, whenever the results comes, whenever the results appeared on the screen, so some additional terms were associated with the search. So, those particular terms I had watched on the screen or monitor, and I had noted down, and I had given whenever the next term, whenever I want to like do the search, I had used those particular words along with the earlier keyword. So, this is nothing but a kind of random thing, very easy, very quick. By putting a simple string or by putting a simple word, I am searching, against which I got some other information, related information. However, I haven't got the complete relevant information, but the information I had received added the refinement process. So, one may not adopt this particular technique for the complete search. A brief search is just a brief and quick search. So, no person may adopt this kind of technique for the full-fledged search in order to publish the results. Then comes the building block method. Building block method is nothing but it reduces a request into series of sub problems. Suppose if a string is been given, it is being broken down into pieces, and then those pieces are used as a kind of building block, and by conquering each and every building block, one will move towards the hardcore final solution. So, this strategy is logical in construction of search mechanism, but takes time in keying in and requires knowledge of the appropriate vocabulary. So, the string whatever we select for the first time as the complete block should be meaningful and should be nearing to our search. So, then only we can take them and we can cut down into building blocks, or we can differentiate into building blocks, and by conquering the breaking pieces and by preparing a kind of method the results will appear or the relevant information will appear. Let us see an example here. The string I have to search is software packages for information retrieval. So, I want all the software packages for information retrieval. So, this particular software the list of packages I want. So, here what I had done is in the statement 1 software or packages or software packages, this is the string I had given and this constitutes a building block S1, and then information retrieval is a building block. Here S3 we are using AND. So, in the first building block, in the first statement S1, we are ORing the things, OR, Boolean ORing the things, and at the end at S3 we are combining, that is AND. So, this is how we had divided and conquered the using this particular building block method. So, this particular method is very popular those days for retrieval of information against the database, existing databases. Then there is another method called as successive fraction strategy. There we had used OR and AND, Boolean OR and AND in the earlier strategy, and this approach uses Boolean and not. So, this is the basic difference between them. The procedure is same like dividing and conquering. Here also we divide and we conquer, but we use a different set of Boolean operators. Here the whole operations are basing on AND or not. So, just see here an example, swimming and physical fitness of women. This is the string I have to search, or this is the subject area I am interested in. So, S1 swimming and here I am using the word character either women or female. So, the combination of these particular words or the terms I am taking over and I am putting the Boolean and. So, I will get the first result, then that particular S1 result and fit, once again I will get the result, and in S3 S2 and year greater than or equal to, here I am giving a condition which is greater than or equal to 1995. So, in this way this particular successive fraction strategy works upon. It is similar to the earlier building block method, however, we are using a different set of Boolean operations. Next comes the citation Perl growing method. This is a kind of growing method. It starts with some initial set and grows on till the results are acquired. It begins with a very small initial set, even a single term known to be relevant to the query. Just like brief search, if you remember, brief search is just a random kind of thing and easy kind of string we are passing on to. Here also the same thing happens in the citation Perl growing method. What we will do is, we will select an initial set and we will work upon, and the resultant retrieval provides additional relevant terms as was done in the brief search, and with the help of those particular keywords those are appearing on the monitor or in the intermediate results, we pick up those words, make a note of those particular words which are relevant and which we do not know when we had given the first string initial set. So, we use those additional words also and do the iterative thing. These can be used to carry out further searches on the subject. So, it is a kind of looping process. We had given the string, acquired something, and using those additional relevant terms, we are once again refining the strategy, we are keying in, and then we are searching. If we are satisfied with the second search, it is okay, otherwise we once again take some other relevant words or additional words, vocabulary, then we will once again search against the things. So, this particular thing is a kind of enhancer method or iterative method or else growing method and an enhancement to the brief search. Then there are some precision devices also. We can use some precision devices. So, precision devices are used to restrict the number of records retrieved. So, suppose if the first search is done and we had got several records, may be relevant, may be irrelevant, we had got the several records. However, when we got those particular records, we can keep a precision device factor also. So, such devices enables the coordination of linking information at various stages of document indexing, search and retrieval processes. Here we want to restrict the number of records by putting some conditions or else by clicking on some options, and these will help us coordinating the linking information at various stages of document indexing, a kind of search and then the retrieval processes. And then there are another set of devices called as recall devices. Recall devices are used to increase the number of relevant references retrieved by a search expression. This is just like an opposite to the earlier one called as the precision device. Here we want to increase the number of relevant references, there we want to restrict the number of records those are being retrieved. So, these devices include some synonym control, hierarchical term linkage, associative term linkage, control of work forms, summation of document sets and bibliographic coupling. Synonym control is nothing but, here one word may be having several meanings. So, those particular things we can control one by one. So, depending upon the conditions we provide to the database producer, these particular things can be enhanced. We can increase the number of relevant information references. So, synonyms for the first time we may not like checkbox the thing. Later on gradually we will keep on like selecting the option and the number of relevant references may be enhanced. Then comes like for example synonym control can be suppose if I want to give law, then laws, lawyers. Likewise I can grow on including the surround by terms and I can get the more relevant references or more information from the databases. Like hierarchical term linkage. Hierarchical term linkage is nothing but expand and explode. First I start with some sort of root word and gradually I move on to the next relevant words and I want to enhance the relevant references retrieved by this search expression. So, it may start with a simple word and I keep on doing it for the next terms and other terms will be linked in a hierarchical fashion and we will be moving to nearing to the relevant information retrieval. Then comes the associative term linkage. This is nothing but represent non-hierarchic associative terms for a given descriptor. This associative term is nothing, no way like connected just like a hierarchical term. However, a relative term associated with the first like term is been given and is been linked so that the relevant references may be enhanced. Then comes the control of work forms. So, here also there is a kind of controlling factor associated with the recall device, wherein which upon clicking the option of control of work form, one may get the information retrieval enhanced. Then comes the summation of document sets. Summation of document sets is nothing but we will be just like a divide and conquer. What we will be doing is we will be putting one set and then second set, like third set. The results comes in the set 1, then set 2, set 3 are being merged or clubbed, and once again we look into those particular summation of documents like the results of the sets and we will recall the relevant references. Like we have these recall devices, we have the precision devices also. The precision devices are syntactic devices, weighing devices. Syntactic devices are nothing but those devices which have a kind of syntax meaning, and the weighing devices are nothing but we will put some sort of weight to the weighing devices. Then there is another thing for the precision device called as the sensitivity of the errors. We have to, most of the database systems, whenever we give the search string, we do not know, we will be keying in the right word. However, sometimes there may be an error, there may be a kind of character, additional character insertion. Like suppose if I put information INFORMATION and I had inserted 2 times F and I have not observed, however, it had given some sort of results which are not relevant. Likewise, there may be a character omission also. One of the character I had omitted and I had placed the string and I had got the bad results. And the third may be character substitution. Instead of INFOR, I had substituted IM. So, there is a kind of spelling error which leads to the bad results. And sometimes a kind of character reversal will be there, like information INF instead of INF, IFN might have keyed in, because of which an error has occurred. Before concluding this particular session, let us recap what we had seen. We had seen how the deviation of the research strategy or else the information was happening, what are the causes, and then how the enhanced, how the records can be restricted to some number, or else how the relevant references can be enhanced by using the recall devices. Hope you had understood all the searching strategies taught in this session as well as the earlier session. Please go through the presentation once again if you have not understood. Thank you.